Faith is not merely a religious concept. It is a fundamental pillar of human existence. Without faith, life becomes fragmented, directionless, and devoid of deeper meaning. The Bible presents faith as an essential structure that provides stability, hope, and resilience. Hebrews 11:1 states, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." In this message, we will explore faith through a psychological, philosophical, and theological lens, engaging with its deep personal and societal implications. Faith is not just belief in God. It is an orientation toward meaning itself. When faith is absent, nihilism, despair, and chaos arise. But when faith is properly understood and applied, it transforms individuals, communities, and even civilizations. Faith is deeply tied to our cognitive and emotional structure. It is the foundation that allows human beings to move forward despite uncertainty. Faith enables resilience. In times of hardship, it is faith that allows us to persevere. Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search for Meaning, emphasized that those who survived the horrors of concentration camps were often those who held on to a transcendent purpose. Faith constructs our vision of the future. Every decision we make is based on faith. Faith that our efforts will yield results, that tomorrow will be better, and that striving has value. Faith combats nihilism. Without faith, life can seem pointless. The Bible consistently affirms that meaning exists beyond mere survival. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. If we abandon faith, we risk descending into cynicism and existential despair. Faith, therefore, is not just a religious principle. It is a psychological necessity. Faith in the Bible is not blind optimism. It is deeply rational, structured, and historically grounded. Abraham. Faith as sacrificial trust. Abraham's willingness to sacrifice Isaac. Genesis 22 is not just a test of obedience, but an example of the highest form of faith, trusting God's purpose even when it contradicts human logic. Moses. Faith as leadership in uncertainty. Moses led the Israelites through the wilderness, not because of visible certainty, but because of divine assurance. Exodus 14:21-22. Leadership, whether spiritual or personal, requires a deep faith in the unseen. Jesus, faith as radical transformation. Jesus' entire ministry was a call to radical faith. When Peter stepped onto the water, he was upheld only by faith. Matthew 14:29-31. Faith demands action, transformation, and trust in something greater than oneself. Biblical faith is deeply tied to responsibility. It requires sacrifice, perseverance, and a vision that extends beyond the immediate moment. One of the deepest insights of biblical faith is that it calls individuals to take responsibility for their lives. Faith is not passive belief. It is active engagement with the highest good. Faith and accountability. The parable of the talents, Matthew 25:14-30, demonstrates that faith involves responsibility. We are expected to take what God has given us and multiply. Faith and moral order. Without faith, moral relativism can dominate, leading to societal decay. Faith in a higher moral order is what gives structure to ethics and justice. Faith and courage. True faith demands that we stand up for truth even when it is unpopular. The prophets, the apostles, and Christ himself exemplified this in their willingness to suffer for truth. Faith, then, is the antidote to chaos. It orders life, demands personal responsibility, and aligns individuals with a greater moral structure. Faith is not just a private belief. It is the bedrock of civilization itself. Western civilization and biblical faith. The moral framework of Western civilization is deeply rooted in Judeo-Christian principles. Concepts like human dignity, justice, and freedom stem from biblical faith. Faith and law. The legal systems of many nations were originally based on biblical understandings of justice and righteousness, e.g., the Ten Commandments as a foundation for ethical law. Faith and cultural stability. Societies that lose their faith often descend into chaos. Proverbs 29:18 states, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Faith provides that vision. Without faith, civilizations lose their purpose and collapse into disorder. Faith is the structure that sustains not just individuals but entire cultures. Understanding faith is not enough. It must be lived out. Here's how. Cultivate daily trust in God. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5-6. Take bold action in faith. Faith without works is dead. James 2:26. Live as if what you believe is true. Refuse to surrender to despair. Life will be filled with trials, but faith allows you to endure. James 1:2-4. Live with meaning and purpose. Recognize that faith is not just about eternity. It's about living meaningfully today. Faith is not an escape from reality. It is the very thing that makes reality bearable and meaningful. Without faith, life collapses into meaninglessness. But with faith, life is infused with purpose, structure, and divine hope. Ask yourself, where is my faith placed? In temporary things or in eternal truth? Am I living out my faith through action and responsibility? How does my faith shape the meaning and direction of my life? Faith is the foundation of existence itself. When properly understood, it transforms both the individual and the world. To live by faith is to live with meaning, courage, and divine alignment. Amen.